The 1980s were an era when speed became an obsession across the motorcycle world. While Americans still swore by their heavy Harley-Davidsons, engineers in Japan were quietly preparing for a revolution. They didn't just want to build faster motorcycles, they wanted to prove that engineering and performance could exist in perfect harmony. Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Yamaha entered what would become the most intense speed war in motorcycle history. They battled over every horsepower, every aerodynamic edge, every single gram of weight. And the result was a decade where almost every year another speed record fell. For American riders, it was a cultural shock. From California to Florida, Japanese sport bikes were screaming down highways, making classic cruisers look like relics of another age. So now, let's look back at the 15 fastest Japanese motorcycles of the 1980s, the machines that forever changed how America defined speed. Yamaha XJ650 Turbo. If there's one word to describe the Yamaha XJ650 Turbo, it's bold experiment. In the early 1980s, when the world was obsessed with turbocharging, Yamaha wanted to prove that turbos weren't just for cars. The result was a futuristic-looking machine that pushed the limits of motorcycle engineering, the XJ650 Turbo. Powered by a 653 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine with a Hitachi turbocharger and a 5-speed gearbox, it delivered 90 horsepower, enough to make rivals nervous. But raw power wasn't the full story. Once the tachometer passed 5,000 RPM, the turbo came alive, and the bike surged forward like a missile. It could hit 60 miles per hour in just 4.8 seconds, run the quarter mile in 12.2 seconds at 110 miles per hour, and reach a top speed of 125 miles per hour. Still, the heavy 540-pound frame, abrupt power delivery, and turbo lag made it a handful to ride. It wasn't a sales success, but it captured a daring moment in Japan's motorcycle history. Suzuki GS750ES. The Suzuki GS750ES wasn't loud or outrageous, but its perfect balance of power, reliability, and control made it one of the quiet icons of the 1980s. Introduced in 1983, the GS750ES featured a 747 cubic centimeter DOHC inline-4, producing 85 horsepower, enough to make many bigger bikes nervous. It accelerated from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.3 seconds, covered the quarter mile in 11.8 seconds at 115 miles per hour, and reached a top speed of 130 miles per hour. What made the GS750ES beloved wasn't raw numbers, but its refined riding experience. With a rigid steel frame, adjustable front forks, dual disc brakes, and a 480-pound weight, it was stable, agile, and confidence-inspiring at any speed. To American riders, it was the just right sport touring bike, fast enough for weekend races, yet comfortable enough for cross-country rides. Today, collectors regard the GS750ES as a bridge between eras, the moment when classic motorcycles evolved into modern sport bikes. Honda VF750F Interceptor. When Honda unveiled the VF750F Interceptor in 1983, it sent shockwaves through the American motorcycle scene. This wasn't just another street bike, it was a road-legal machine infused with TTF1 racing technology. The VF750F was Honda's first sport bike to feature the all-new 748 cubic centimeter V4 DOHC engine, producing an impressive 100 horsepower for a mid-size class. It sprinted from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.8 seconds, ran the quarter mile in 11.4 seconds at 118 miles per hour, and reached a top speed of 137 miles per hour. What truly set it apart was its handling. The semi-aluminum frame, low clip-on handlebars, Pro-Link rear suspension, and dual-disc brakes made it corner like it was glued to the pavement. For American riders, it was a revelation. The first time a Japanese bike delivered a genuine racing experience on public roads. Its sharp design and signature red-white-blue color scheme turned the VF750F into an instant icon of the 1980s. It laid the foundation for Honda's Interceptor and VFR lineups that would dominate the following decades. Kawasaki GPZ750 Turbo. If there was one turbocharged motorcycle that truly worked, it was the Kawasaki GPZ750 Turbo. While other manufacturers struggled with lag and complexity, Kawasaki cracked the code and built a machine that made turbocharging practical and thrilling. Released in 1984, the GPZ750 Turbo used a 738 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine paired with an IHIR H10 turbocharger, producing a staggering 112 horsepower for its size. It launched from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds, ran the quarter mile in 10.7 seconds at 128 miles per hour, and reached a top speed of 140 miles per hour. Thanks to the turbo's placement near the exhaust and its advanced electronic fuel injection, boost response was sharp and immediate, with minimal lag. The result was a bike that felt raw, powerful, and alive, something American riders had rarely experienced outside a drag strip. Visually, it was just as fierce. Aerodynamic fairings, a red and black paint scheme, and bold turbo decals across the body. Kawasaki proudly called it the fastest production motorcycle in the world in 1984, and for once, the slogan was absolutely true. Yamaha FJ 1100. For Yamaha, the 1980s weren't just about horsepower, they were about redefining what a sport touring motorcycle could be. And the FJ 1100 did exactly that. Introduced in 1984, it blended the brute power of a superbike with the comfort of a long-distance tourer, earning its nickname among American riders, the Gentleman's Express. Powered by a 1,097 cubic centimeter DOHC inline-4, producing 125 horsepower, the FJ 1000 was a beast in its day. It hit 60 miles per hour in just 3.2 seconds, ran the quarter mile in 10.8 seconds at 130 miles per hour, and topped out at 145 miles per hour. Yet what riders loved most wasn't the speed, it was the smoothness. Its 5-speed gearbox, linear throttle response, and lightweight chassis gave it remarkable stability, even at high velocity. The FJ 1100 featured adjustable suspension, dual front disc brakes, and aerodynamic bodywork designed for long-haul comfort. It wasn't flashy or loud, it was fast, refined, and reliable. Suzuki GS1150E. In the mid-1980s, while other Japanese manufacturers chased high-tech innovation and aerodynamic design, Suzuki took a different path: pure, unfiltered power. The GS1150E embodied that philosophy perfectly. It was a true muscle bike, raw, fast, and unapologetically mechanical. Launched in 1983, the GS1150E featured a 1,135 cubic centimeter air-cooled inline-4 engine producing 120 horsepower. The performance numbers were staggering for its time. 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.1 seconds, a quarter mile in 10.6 seconds at 130 miles per hour, and a top speed of 145 miles per hour. With its ideal power-to-weight ratio and solid chassis, it could easily challenge fared superbikes on the drag strip or open highway. American riders loved it for its honesty, a machine that made no attempt to hide its muscle. No turbochargers, no electronics, no gimmicks. Just a massive engine, crisp throttle response, and that signature Suzuki growl. It was the kind of motorcycle that spoke directly to the rider's instincts. Kawasaki GPZ 900R Ninja. When talking about motorcycles that defined the 1980s, few stand taller than the Kawasaki GPZ 900R, the very first Ninja. Released in 1984, it didn't just become the fastest production motorcycle in the world, it became a pop culture legend after starring in Top Gun alongside Tom Cruise. The GPZ 900R featured a revolutionary 908 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled DOHC inline-4 engine producing 115 horsepower. It could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.9 seconds, cover the quarter mile in 10.6 seconds at 132 miles per hour, and reach a top speed of 155 miles per hour. Its boxed steel frame, low center of gravity, and near-perfect weight distribution made it both lightning-fast and remarkably stable. Unlike the loud, brutal muscle bikes of the past, the Ninja delivered something different, a refined kind of speed. It was powerful, yet precise, aerodynamic, yet soulful. It proved that performance could be elegant and that speed could become an art form. Yamaha FZ750 Genesis. In 1985, Yamaha shocked the motorcycle world with a sport bike that pushed engineering boundaries, the FZ750 Genesis. It wasn't just a new model, it was Yamaha's statement to Honda and Kawasaki. We don't need to be stronger. We need to be smarter. The FZ750 featured a 749 cubic centimeter DOHC inline-4 with 5 valves per cylinder, 20 in total, an engineering marvel at the time. Producing 105 horsepower, it could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.0 seconds, run the quarter mile in 10.9 seconds at 128 miles per hour, and reach a top speed of 147 miles per hour. Light, agile, and razor-sharp in handling, it quickly became a favorite among true sport riders. Its perimeter-style frame, 6-speed gearbox, and low center of gravity made high-speed control effortless. But what riders remember most was the scream of that Genesis engine, a mechanical symphony that came alive at 10,000 RPM. Honda VF1000R. If the VF750F opened the door to Honda's sport bike era, the VF1000R was the declaration of dominance, a machine that turned every road into a racetrack. Introduced in 1984, the VF1000R was built directly from Honda's TTF1 endurance racers, which were dominating international competitions. It wasn't just powerful, it was a technical masterpiece that showcased Honda's engineering brilliance at its peak. Its 998 cubic centimeters DOHC5 4-engine produced 122 horsepower, propelling the VF1000R from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.0 seconds, through the quarter mile in 10.8 seconds at 131 miles per hour, and to a top speed of 150 miles per hour. The gear-driven camshaft system gave it a signature metallic growl. a sound Honda fans still describe as mechanical perfection. The bike featured full aerodynamic fairings, Pro-Link rear suspension, dual front disc brakes, and a semi-aluminum frame, making it one of the most sophisticated sport bikes of its time. Yet at nearly 600 pounds, it demanded respect. A machine for riders who understood that speed is best controlled through precision. Suzuki GSX-R 750. In 1985, Suzuki released a motorcycle that forever changed the industry, the GSX-R 750. This wasn't just another model, it was a revolution. The world's first true race bike for the street, it brought pure track performance directly to everyday riders. Powered by a 749 cubic centimeter DOHC inline-4 with Suzuki's legendary Sachs oil cooling system, the GSX-R 750 produced 100 horsepower while weighing only 388 pounds. That combination gave it astonishing numbers: 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.9 seconds, a quarter mile in 10.5 seconds at 133 miles per hour, and a top speed of 155 miles per hour. Its full aluminum frame, sport-tuned suspension, and ideal weight balance made it incredibly agile and razor-precise through corners. Unlike the bulky sport bikes before it, the GSX-R 750 delivered a pure, visceral experience, fast, focused, and stripped of excess. It was a race machine you could register for the street, and American riders instantly fell in love. Many still call it the bike that changed everything. Nearly 4 decades later, the GSX-R 750 remains in Suzuki's lineup, a testament to timeless design and the philosophy of lightweight performance. Kawasaki GPZ 1000RX. After the massive success of the GPZ 900R, Kawasaki knew they couldn't stop there. Just 2 years later, they unveiled the GPZ 1000RX, the fastest production motorcycle in the world, in 1986. With this model, Kawasaki wasn't just defending its crown, it was declaring total dominance in the superbike wars. The GPZ 1000RX featured a 997 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled DOHC inline-4 producing 125 horsepower, an astonishing figure for its time. It blasted from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds, ran the quarter mile in 10.3 seconds at 136 miles per hour, and reached a top speed of 158 miles per hour. Its advanced frame design, sport-tuned suspension, and fully integrated aerodynamic fairing gave it incredible stability, even at extreme speeds. While not as sleek as the GPZ 900R, the GPZ 1000RX radiated brute strength and authority, the very definition of an ultimate ninja. Its high-revving 4-cylinder engine produced a scream riders described as a jet fighter taking off. In an era when every manufacturer was racing for the top speed record, the GPZ 1000RX proudly sat at number 1. Yamaha FZR 1000. In 1987, Yamaha once again stunned the motorcycle world with the FZR 1000, a machine so advanced that the press soon dubbed it the superbike of the decade. Building on the success of the FZ750 Genesis, Yamaha refined its philosophy of intelligent performance, combining massive power with precision engineering to create one of the most technologically sophisticated bikes of the 1980s. The FZR 1000 was powered by a 1002 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled DOHC inline-4 producing 135 horsepower. It accelerated from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.7 seconds, covered the quarter mile in 10.2 seconds at 138 miles per hour, and reached a top speed of 167 miles per hour. It was also the first motorcycle in the world to feature exhaust ultimate power valve, a variable exhaust system that optimized torque at low RPM and power at high RPM, giving the bike an incredibly broad power band. Its aluminum delta box frame provided unmatched rigidity, while the aerodynamic bodywork and race-bred suspension gave it both speed and stability. On American highways, the FZR 1000 made every other superbike of the era look instantly outdated. Suzuki GSX-R 1100. If the GSX-R 750 opened the door to the modern sport bike era, the GSX-R 1100 was Suzuki's knockout punch, a machine that brought pure racetrack performance to the streets. Released in 1986, it quickly earned the nickname the King of the Streets, ruling American highways with sheer dominance. The GSX-R 1100 was powered by a 1,052 cubic centimeter oil-cooled inline-4, producing 128 horsepower. It could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds, cover the quarter mile in 10.1 seconds at 139 miles per hour, and reach a top speed of 162 miles per hour. Those numbers made it the most powerful sport bike in the world at the time. But what riders loved most wasn't just the speed, it was the personality. The GSX-R 1100 was raw, wild, and completely unfiltered. Its lightweight aluminum frame, race-tuned suspension, and aggressive riding position gave it razor-sharp handling. On open highways, the engine's scream at high revs was described as the roar of a beast with wings. It delivered a pure and terrifyingly honest riding experience, one that demanded respect but rewarded bravery. Kawasaki ZX-10 Tomcat. When Kawasaki released the ZX-10 Tomcat in 1988, the motorcycle world had to redefine the meaning of fast. The bike was a perfect blend of sheer power, aerodynamic precision, and advanced engineering, all built around a single goal: to become the fastest production motorcycle on Earth. The ZX-10 was powered by a 997 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled DOHC inline-4, producing 137 horsepower. It could rocket from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.7 seconds, run the quarter mile in 10.1 seconds at 140 miles per hour, and reach a top speed of 165 miles per hour. Its all-new aluminum frame, sport-tuned suspension, and fighter jet-inspired fairings gave it exceptional stability and control, even at full throttle. The name Tomcat wasn't chosen by accident. It was inspired by the US Navy's F-14 fighter jet. And true to its name, the ZX-10 felt like a supersonic weapon unleashed on the open road. For American riders of the late 1980s, this bike represented pure speed, a machine that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Suzuki GSX-R 750R Limited Edition. Released in 1986, this ultra-rare version, limited to just 500 units, was created to homologate Suzuki's entry into the AMA Superbike Championship in the United States. It wasn't just a production bike, it was a full-blown race machine with license plates, powered by a 749 cubic centimeter oil-cooled inline-4, producing 130 horsepower, a full 30 more than the standard GSX-R. The limited edition could rocket from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.6 seconds, blast through the quarter mile in 10.3 seconds at 137 miles per hour, and hit a top speed of 165 miles per hour, 266 kilometers per hour. Weighing only around 388 pounds, it had a near-perfect power-to-weight ratio. It also featured an aluminum swing arm, fully adjustable Showa suspension, and a slipper clutch, the first ever fitted to a street-legal motorcycle. For American speed enthusiasts, the GSX-R 750R was a dream come true, fast, rare, and electrifying in every sense. Every twist of the throttle was a reminder that Suzuki had built a motorcycle designed not to impress, but to dominate. The 1980s were the decade when Japan completely transformed the motorcycle world. They didn't just build faster and more powerful machines, they turned speed into an art form, blending engineering, design, and racing spirit into one. From daring turbocharged experiments to lightweight, precision sport bikes, the Japanese redefined what performance could be. If you've ever ridden, heard, or even dreamed of one of these machines, share your thoughts below. Which of these do you think deserves the title of the fastest legend of the 1980s? And if you love stories about speed, engineering, and unbreakable spirit, don't forget to subscribe, so we can keep exploring the blazing world of two-wheeled legends together.